You're listening to the Codependent Millennial Podcast with Sophie Shiloh, Episode 12, Making Decisions. This episode is part of my series on the 7 essential steps to moving beyond codependency. To receive the full guide along with all of the worksheets and written guidance, simply visit codependentmillennial.com/essential, click the button that says Get the Guide, and sign up there. Today we're talking all about how to make powerful decisions and follow through on them. Your commitment to yourself is the most important commitment you will ever make in your life. Learning self-trust, learning self-accountability, learning to take self-directed action, learning self-directed decision-making is the secret to creating an amazing life, so let's get started. At the end of the episode, I will give you 3 amazing tips that you can use to guarantee that you will make decisions, that you will not abandon them, and that you will love yourself throughout the process. If you do these 3 things that I will share with you at the end of this episode, your life will begin to blossom immediately, today. One symptom of codependency is seeking and depending on the approval and permission of others. We can all relate to this. If you're listening to this episode, if you were attracted to this podcast, you can relate to this. This symptom presents itself very clearly whenever a codependent person is faced with a decision, whether it's what kind of clothing to wear, what to eat, which movie to watch, what to study in college, who to marry, how many children to have, anything. When I healed my codependency, I was finally able to answer the question, what do you want? Which is a question I never understood. I never knew how to answer that because I was always focused on what I thought other people wanted from me. And after I was able to answer that question, I was also able to then decide to take action in order to pursue and achieve those things. It was some of the most difficult but liberating work I've ever done, and it's exactly why I have the life I have now that I'm so obsessed with. This is what I want for you too, so listen in and I'll teach you how to take ownership of your decisions and your life instead of simply just living in pursuit of outside permission and approval all the time. You can and you must let go of these things in order to live your best life. So, plot twist, you have never needed anyone else's opinion or approval or permission in order to make decisions for your own life. Of course, you thought you did because when you were little and your brain was getting programmed with all of the beliefs you're likely still holding on to, approval from others meant safety. It meant acceptance, it meant love, even though that was, the kind of conditional love that is based upon how well you live into someone else's idea of what your life should look like. Still, it meant some semblance of love, and that was what we chose to pursue. But what if I told you that seeking the approval of others at this point in your life was literally the most dangerous thing you could possibly still be doing, because that search will never end and will result in a wasted life? I know this sounds dramatic, but I'm being completely serious. What if refusing to risk being misunderstood by people was the thing preventing you from finding the happiness that you think you'll find once you earn this elusive external approval? Your brain has evolved to be the most powerful data gathering and analyzing tool on the planet. Your brain has also evolved to try to get you to do whatever it thinks will keep you safe. This means seeking pleasure, avoiding pain, and doing whatever is most efficient. The acts of making bold decisions and following through on those decisions do not fall into this category. In order to make decisions and start building the life you want to live, you have to use your prefrontal cortex, the advanced human part of your brain, in order to overcome the primitive survival-based tendencies to stay small and still. Make a decision. Make a decision knowing that you'll never get it wrong and you'll never get it done. You think you want to find the right decision. You think you want to make the right decision because you want to be done. You want to be at the after. You want to avoid the very process that will get you where you want to go. You don't know that the process is a necessary part of finding whatever this quote unquote right answer is because you're 23 or something and you're still under the impression that there is one path and you just have to find it. And once you find it, then it'll be a straight line to your dreams. But that's not what happens in life, I promise you. You think, well, I just need to find the answer and then I'll do it. That's literally the exact opposite of how all of this works. The knowing comes during the doing. Never, ever, ever before. The clarity you think you need before you take action only comes with engagement in the process, not before. You want the security and the certainty before you take the leap or the tiny little step. This will have you staying up Googling things all night long and asking tons of people what they think you should do for years. Research is not doing the work. Actually start doing something. Don't start learning about something, just start doing it. Don't wait to go to business school. Start a fucking business. You can start one now. Don't wait until you've read every relationship book that exists out there. Go on a couple of dates and interact with humans. Don't wait until you know the name of every muscle and bone in your body and how the Krebs cycle works. Just start eating more vegetables and less sugar and do some jumping jacks every morning. Don't wait until you have actual signatures from everyone whose opinion you care about on a contract saying that they approve of what you're doing. Just make a decision and go. I promise you, it really is that simple. And the voice in your head right now that's telling you that it's not that simple is exactly what I'm talking about this whole time. That voice will go to such great lengths to convince you to stay up late Googling shit instead of actually starting the work. But don't lie to yourself about why you're not starting, why you're not making a decision and taking action. Don't lie to yourself about that. It's never because you don't have enough information, and it's always because there's something you're afraid of. So how do you actually go about releasing your attachment to the perspectives of others around you and start making decisions in your life with clarity and freedom? Step number 1, you just decide. Bet you saw that coming, right? You just decide. You can never get it wrong and you will never get it done. The only decision you could make that will guarantee your failure is deciding not to start something. Step number 2, you observe the thoughts you're having about your fear of judgment from others. Write those thoughts down. If you aren't aware of the thoughts you're thinking that are keeping you stuck, that are keeping you from taking action, those thoughts will continue to run your life from the shadows. So bring them to the light. I always tell my clients that fear thrives in vagueness. Fear thrives in the darkness. Fear thrives when you aren't certain of what it's trying to tell you. So get clear on that. What are the specific thoughts you're having, the specific fear thoughts, the specific lies that are keeping you stuck? Get specific. Step number 3, support yourself every step of the way. What if you make a decision and it results in something challenging or painful? This doesn't mean that you need to feel any amount of shame or guilt or self-loathing. You are in process. You are doing the brave thing that so many people never do, actually taking action. Can you find pride in that? This also doesn't mean that you failed. What if every time something didn't go exactly the way you wanted it to, you decided that you would make that experience 3 times as valuable as you thought success would be because of how much you were going to learn and grow from it? That's a decision that is available to you in every moment. There is no more powerful position you can take in life than one in which you turn all of your failures into gifts. If you know someone who's been waffling, who's been stuck in the research phase, who has so much to give the world but who just isn't taking action, please share this episode with them. The world needs all of us to stop hiding and start living. In the next podcast, I will be teaching you how to release your need to control other people and outside circumstances in order to feel okay within your own life. This is powerful work that you do not want to miss. If you want to talk with me one-on-one for free, 30 minutes, about a decision that you need to make and take action on, visit codependentmillennial.com/work with me, or simply click the link in the show notes to see if I have any availability this week. No more waiting. Whatever momentum you're feeling right now after this episode, harness it. Let's go. If you liked what you heard in this episode, join me over on Instagram at Codependent Millennial for more tips on how to move beyond codependency and build a life you truly love.